Oh, you can hear me. Hi. Spooky. So, guys, doing some mic tests. We're gonna get started here soon. In like 8 minutes. Alright, guys, is my mic volume sounding okay? I'm do a quick mic test. Let me know if it's too loud, too quiet. I can fix it. Hey. Thank you, thank you. I have a few other people who are going to be joining. It's just going to take a few minutes. They're on their way. Just wanted to hop in here real quickly. I think I've gotten some questions that people have been asking in the chats that we're going to start off with. And then we're to allow people to come up and ask questions. Yeah, I'll make an announcement about being recorded before we start. Thank you so much for recording that. I can also do it on my end too if we need to, but I appreciate you recording it as well. I think you've done that for every creator AMA we've had. Super helpful. Yeah, I just remember you recording them and putting them in the chats for us, which is super helpful. I'm not sure about the Dress to Quest winners. So I'm sorry, I don't have an answer for that one. I would assume it's probably within the end of the week, though. So just keep your eye out on the announcement channel. They'll announce it when the winners are selected. Hey there! Hey guys! Let me get people in here to do mic tests. I love Rumi. Rumi is my favorite. I've known Rumi for like a week, but he's my little baby. Insert the stage. What does that do? I have never hosted one of these. Joker Draws made my profile picture. Love the picture too. It's one of my favorites right now. Yeah, Joker is a huge W. He always makes amazing art. All right, I joined a little early just to make sure I did everything correctly. But definitely now we're playing the waiting game. Hey, Word! Hi, guys! Great to see you all. Does anybody know how long you guys have left for the build phase? I feel like I should know this off the top of my head. I'd have to go look at the dates. 13 days. Okay, so you guys got about 2 weeks. Yeah. Let me pull up the dates so that way I'm not saying anything incorrectly. Yeah, I'm not on Roomy team, but I will bring that up. Chat system is a good idea. Our discussions here today will be about the creator contest. So this isn't like a normal AMA where you can ask any questions. This is specifically towards contests. You can ask a question before it starts because it's quite important. Yes, you can ask a question. It depends on what it is, though. If it's a private matter, though, feel free to DM me. It just might take a little bit for me to get to them. I got a lot of DMs. So the best way I can explain the laggy roomness is I'm thinking of this from a point where I used to compete in contests. There's a difference between your room being laggy because of R2 or your room being laggy because of a build issue. So I wouldn't stress it too much. I can pretty much distinguish the difference between the two. So I wouldn't worry about it too much. You should be okay. Same thing goes with like bugs. Like if you have a bug in your room, but it's caused by R2, you're going to be okay. But if you have a bug because you didn't test your circuits out enough, and it just happened to be buggy because of like circuitry end, not R2 end, then there's a big difference. I'm sorry, Sandy, I'm not bringing anybody up yet. We're going to get started here actually about right now. I'm going to go ahead and start the stage and make sure I get my co-hosters in here. Cool, the event is now live. And people are piling in. Hello. What's up, Trunks? Let's get you up here. I can't. There's so many people joining. I can't pull you up. Hi, everyone. That was very quick once I started the event. Hi, guys. There we go.
Hello, hello. Mic check 1 2 1 2.
If you see staff members, if you could pull them up, that would be super helpful. Your mic sounds great, by the way.
Great, thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah. If staff members do the old request to speak, and we'll try to see you there. Oh no! Please try to avoid the upsized text. I'll most likely just delete it if I see it in the chat. Try to keep your text all the same size. Thank you very much.
There we go. So I guess I'm not looking at the chat yet, but hi, everybody. I think we might be missing a few people. Oh, yeah, let me...
Yeah, so what I'm going to be doing during this event is I'm going to be trying to keep an eye on your chats in the chat bar, writing down any pertinent questions that may come up, and hopefully we can get those questions answered. But as always, try to keep it, friendly and don't use big text. There it is, Brian. Don't do that. Don't use that big text. Other than that, welcome everyone. Hopefully we can get some of your questions answered. Listen to some of your concerns, and maybe you can tell us something we don't know.
I want to go ahead and clarify what this AMA is for real quickly. This is not your typical everyday month AMA. This AMA is specifically for contest questions. So anything that is not contest related, we will not be answering in this AMA. There will be a creator AMA this month, likely a little in a couple weeks. But so this one is only the build contest related questions. I don't have answers for the dress to quest contest. I think that one is someone else. But this is specifically for the creator contest. Oh, Pixel Planner, I saw you unmute and then remute.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Woo.
Okay. Cool. All right. So just want to give everyone a heads up. We are going to be recording this. We have a beautiful volunteer who offered to record this for us. So anything you ask, say in chat, come up on stage and say will be recorded. So please be on your Rec Room best behavior. Please do not make big text or random like letters and emojis in the chat to try to get noticed. I promise you, it's not helping you get noticed. It's just kind of spamming. And we'll be keeping an eye on you guys. All right. Want to go ahead and introduce my co-host here, our Pixel Planner. Hey, welcome to the stage. If you want to say something.
Hello, thank you. Excited to be here. I've been working on R2 here for a couple months, and I've been excited to to see all the fun things y'all been creating in the contest, both in the chat and through some of the stuff that bubbles up internally.
Yeah. I don't know if you introduced yourself yet or explained like who you are.
Oh yeah, fair. My name is Cole, and I am a product manager here on the UGC team at Rec Room. So I've been here for about 3 years. I originally worked on the server team and kind of bounced around the company a bit internally. So that's me.
Yeah. So we helping answer a lot of your R2 related questions and comments and concerns. Okay. Colt, I think, let me pull Sean up. And I don't know if there's any other staff members who wanted to speak during this AMA, feel free to request to be pulled up. I think you should be able to pull yourself up too, but feel free to request if you can't. Okay, we do have... Muted. No worries. We do have 2 questions that I did find somebody asked me. The first one was, the last ship notes from last night had no R2 updates. Were there no fixes for this week?
Yeah, I think that's a fair question. I don't think any fixes went out this week. That is not because we are not trying to get them out, but we have been focusing a lot on the bugs that have been coming up through the contest. And unfortunately, a lot of the bugs in the contest are pretty deep in the tech stack and are kind of hard for us to reproduce internally. So we've been reaching out to some of y'all who have run into it and are working on getting better information so we can get these fixes out quickly. But unfortunately, it was just kind of an awkward week where we missed some of the fixes this week.
Okay. Thank you very much for that answer. There was a second question about future fixes for crashing. There was no super big context on this, but just as much as we can say is probably what they'd like to hear.
I'm happy to talk about crashing generally. Crashing is like a really big problem generally with games, but Rec Room is really unique because there's a lot of ways that you can crash, and there's a lot of unknowns with how rooms are set up. What we do know is that a couple ships ago, I think it was like the May 13th ship, we actually accidentally increased the crash rates in our 2 rooms more than we intended. So fix did go out for that recently, about 2 weeks ago, and that should be back to our normal level. And we have a lot of data internally that we look at, and so R1 and R2 are actually crashing at the same rate. So we're pretty pleased with getting that back to that level. Something that we don't consider a crash per se, but it's still absolutely a problem and a bug, is that we're seeing a lot of users getting kicked back to dorm. This is one of those kind of deep technical stack problems that we're seeing across, we're seeing more frequently recently. So while we didn't get a fix out for this, there is some data that's going out so that we can get better information on how to fix it. And we hope to get a fix out for that really soon, because having the data or just more information will help us find and fix that as quickly as we can.
Perfect. Thank you for all that information. I know there's probably going to be some questions about lag and such.
Yeah, totally fair.
Those are the 2 I took from chats. This is before, I know there was a few other questions after I asked the question in the contest chat, but I'll go ahead and allow you guys to ask those personally. I think we are going to start allowing people to come up on stage and ask a question. Please keep it to 1 question per time you come up. I'll let you come up again a second time if you have a second question, but keep it to 1 at a time. And please keep it related to contest. If you are not related, if it's not related to contest, I will beat you off the stage immediately. And you will not be allowed to ask any more questions. Okay. We're going to go ahead and start. Not going to hurt you guys. And please keep the text chat also contest related so we can make sure we're on topic. And we're going to start with Sandy.
Hello, is my microphone?
Yeah.
Yes, we can hear you.
Oh my god, my mic audio, my speaker keeps turning off. I can't hear anything. So I have a concern of the SteamVR of one of my games, because I joined, this is my first time doing a build contest, and when I join my build contest map, it keeps logging me out saying failed to connect to FNAF servers.
Pixie, you got any idea what that could be?
Yeah, sorry, to better understand the problem, is this you can't connect from SteamVR like to log in, or is this specific to your room?
It's specific to the map. Like when I open SteamVR, I don't know if you can hear the background music right now, but like when I open it, and I see like static, and then I get logged out saying failed to connect to BackNet servers. Error code summer.
That's really odd. That I don't have specifics on that. That sounds like a login issue. But if you can reach out through Zendesk, we can potentially have somebody help take a look and try to get that resolved for you.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry that I don't have a better answer for you. It's that one's just a little bit out of my knowledge space, even within Rec Room.
Okay.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Sandy. Cool. All right. I'm going to go ahead and move the next person up. I'm kind of going in order by people who requested. Just keep an eye out if I give you a request.
Hello.
Hi there.
Hello.
So I'm actually noticing like this was recently. A few of my friends are grabbing our pens. Like one person grab, everyone lags. But when everyone else grab their pen, they're fine till like the last person drops their pen. It does a lag spike. Is that normal by any chance?
Yeah, unfortunately, this is like a known bug. It's something that we have pretty high on the list to fix, but it's not something that's like a really quick fix, unfortunately.
Dang, okay.
But essentially, there's like creation data that's in the room. And when you open your Makerpen, there's a lot of things that we have to load because the Makerpen has more knowledge of the shapes than like your average player does.
Yeah.
And so the process of loading that information to the player that's like opening and closing it can cause that spike. If other people already have it open, that's like already loaded for the room, so it's like much faster essentially.
Yeah.
And so it is something that we're very aware of, and it's something that's pretty high on our priority stack.
Okay.
But we can't. Well, it is towards the top of that list, but it's not something we can easily fix right this moment. So unfortunately, it'll be a little bit longer before a fix gets out.
That seems fair enough, because I was just reminding the other team, like, I'm going to make the specific shapes in Rec Studio so that we don't die.
Yeah, that totally makes sense. And I'm sorry that y'all are having to work around it.
It's fine. We were not expecting it.
Yeah, it's one of those things where like we generally try to prioritize things that are like absolute blockers. Like we know that the lag is really annoying, and we know that opening and closing the Makerpen being really like frustrating or really slow or having huge lag spike is like a real problem and is super frustrating.
Yeah.
But the things that we tend to prioritize are like people can't load into their room, or their rooms are like there's like the new black and white bug that has popped up a little bit. Those are the things that we try to jump to the top of the list because it blocks multiple people.
All right. Cool beans. That's what I was trying to figure out, like, what's up with the lag? Is this normal or not?
Yeah, unfortunately known. Something we really, really want to address.
Alrighty.
Sounds good.
Do
right,
I
thank you
throw
so
myself
much.
back?
Yeah, I can either put you down or you can throw yourself back. Either
All right, I'm throwing myself back. Thank you.
No problem. All right. And for that lag issue, I believe if you have, like we said, somebody in your room with your Makerpen open, then you should be not having that much of an issue with that one. So just a little bit of a workaround. All right, I'm going to bring the next person in.
Howdy.
Hello there.
Hello.
Hi. Hi. I was wondering what internally made you guys, like the team, decide that Rooms 2 was ready for this large of a, contest?
Yeah, I think it's a fair question. We were pushing really hard on trying to align our efforts between our efforts internally and the effort that you guys are putting into the game. I don't know if you saw the post that came out from that was posted a little bit ago called The Messy Middle. It was a couple months ago. And essentially, like, we were putting almost all of our effort into R2 internally, and most of creation was happening in R1. And we wanted to bridge that gap. We want to have our efforts, our bug fixes, our new features directly in helping you guys, directly impacting y'all. And there were definitely some shortcomings in trying to get R2 over. Like, I think a key thing is like costumes weren't supported. Also, vehicles didn't exist. And so a lot of our push internally has been like, okay, how can we align our efforts? How can we as a company at Rec Room bridge the gap? And one of the things that we wanted to do is we have put a lot of effort into R2. Yes, it definitely still has bugs and it definitely still has issues. But we wanted more people to be creating in it so that we could generate more feedback, so that we could get the bug fixes out quicker with a wider audience. And we believe that this was stable enough to build the contest platform off of. I know that not everybody agrees with that. That can be a controversial opinion, but that is like the stance that we had going into this.
Well, yeah, no, I totally understand that, right? Because assuming that there wasn't very many data points before the whole thing came out, right? You can only do so much to look ahead before you're like, oh no.
Yeah, totally fair.
Yeah, definitely. We can't test with 400 to 500 people using it all at the same time. Unlike we're throwing it in. When we throw it in a contest, we have so many more people testing it than we do internally. So we missed a lot of things.
Yeah, you can only do so much, and I totally understand that.
Yeah, and hopefully you've experienced, like, we've gotten some good fixes out over the course of the contest. We've added costumes, we added vehicles. Like, a lot of that was because we knew that you guys needed that for the contest, and so it really helped push us forward and really helped us get those fixes and those changes out to you guys.
Yeah, the biggest issue that I've come across with my team, right, is that the early parts of the contest was like a big, I guess, ego hit, right? Because there was a ton of crashes. The rest of my team, they all use PC, so like there's just 101 bugs that they were getting, and they were crashing all the time at the beginning. They're not crashing anymore, like as much as they were at the beginning. But I was the only one that I had to be in the room so that they could actually make progress. It was like a whole ego hit. Like, we just couldn't do things.
Yeah, I hear you. That sucks. That's like no fun, and I'm sorry that y'all encountered that. But it's one of those things that, like, kind of to Eden's point, is like we needed more traffic to see some of these things, because we can test internally, but the amount of creators that have hit R2 in the contest is already bigger than all of Rec Room. And a lot of y'all are much better, or all of y'all are much better creators than almost all of the internal employees. I mean, so we all try to create, we all play the game, but what y'all can do is astounding to us. Y'all are super impressive. And so we kind of needed the traffic to generate signal and help us figure out how to make the system better.
Mm-hmm. Okay, yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much. That was a great question. I believe that. All right. Great question. All right, I will do a quick reminder just to be respectful in the chats when you guys are texting and talking. Please be kind to each other. I understand Rooms 2 is frustrating and you guys have all had your issues and your bugs, but please remember to be kind to one another. All right, bring up the next person.
Oh shoot. All right, what's up? Hello.
Hello.
Okay, so I have like 2 questions. Is that cool for me to ask 2 questions real quick?
Let's see how long the first one takes.
Okay, it's nothing too crazy. It's like a yes or no question. But are we gonna lose like points, like based on our judgment, like based on how well the game runs, or like the FPS or frame rate or anything like that?
I think I kind of explained this at the beginning, is we understand that R2 is kind of buggy and your frame rates might be a little lower because of R2. And so we aren't going to dock you points if your room's buggy because of an R2 issue. If your room is buggy because, like, you messed up with circuits or something, you have 6,000 update 30 hertz and it's making your frames drops. That's a big difference from R2 issue versus a creation issue.
Okay, that's okay. And then my second quick question, there's this, I don't know if anyone else has probably, I'd imagine But there's this bug where I don't know what causes it, but if it's either like pulling out my Makerpen or something, my resolution of my VR just on Rec Room will just like unscale itself for some reason. Like it'll go down by itself. And then it's just like my screen's very, like the resolution of my screen's very low. And then it's not even just in my room. It's like if I move to a separate room, like my dorm or something, it'll still, like the resolution will still be messed up for some reason. I have to restart my game to fix it.
I have not heard this. Not to say that is like, I don't believe you or anything like that. Could you try to post a little bit more information in like the creator forum, and we can try to take a look? That is like a new bug that I have not heard of before. But that does seem super annoying.
It's kind of weird. At first, I thought it was like my SteamVR like by itself, but whenever I pulled my SteamVR menu up, it wasn't being affected by like that either. It was like just on the Rec Room like application when I was like tabbed into that, and it traveled through rooms too. So it wasn't just like my contest room. It was like if I went to my dorm and I just like, or anything like that. And I'm pretty sure it was caused from like Rooms v2 bugs or something like that, or like the I don't know how well it was running.
Gotcha. Yeah, like I said, please carry to post a little more info, and we can see if we can get somebody to dig in.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. All right.
That's about it.
Thank you so much for the questions. Of course. Alrighty. We're gonna keep this going. I'm gonna go ahead and pull up the next person. Please keep an eye if I. There you go. Hello there.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yep.
Yes, we can.
Okay. So, this is more related to the new beam body and R2. Well, because it has something to do with the contest. But
okay.
When I try, like for example, when I try taking an object or a Rec Room object and transforming it to the player's head or something like that, it won't follow the head, even though I'm using head position and the head orientation. When I crouch, it still stays above my head and it kind of bugs out. And I posted this in, I think, the circuits chat or something. I think it was in the circuits chat. It's just really buggy. And it's been like this ever since the new beam body came out. And it's like a pivot point just faults for some reason. If you know what I mean.
Yeah, that makes sense. I think it's probably something we can have somebody look at. Have you tried using the new like attached to player chips that came out recently? Because they might not have the same issue.
Well, so the thing that I'm doing is more like a mimic thing where it's like another version of you. And it works perfectly fine with the new beam body. Well, not with the new beam body, but the old beam body. There was a glitch a while ago where you could get the new beam body and it worked fine. I don't know how that worked. And it never worked on the old beam body. The way I have it set up is so where it follows the player's camera or like the face and it pushes it forward, I think like 2 meters. So it's following you, but it's in front of you. So it's
gotcha. Yeah, this is something we'd have to look at more closely. I don't know. I don't know that we could resolve this quickly off the top of my head. I would probably encourage you for like on the contest timeline to try your best to work around it.
Yeah.
Largely because by the time we can get somebody on the bug, ship them, fix it, ship it out. It takes us a couple weeks for that to happen.
I tried to do like a game mechanic test thing where I would like spawn something in front of my face and then shoot it forward. It wouldn't work either because I was crouched. On standing mode it works fine, but on seated it doesn't. So it's always broken.
Yeah, that definitely sounds like a bug. Yeah, like I said, I don't know how. I cannot make any promises that we could get it fixed before the contest is over. Which I know is unfortunately probably not what you want to hear, but it's something that we'll have to look at internally.
Okay. So I'm it's like it's hard to speak and see because I'm also in the game.
Yeah, totally fair.
Okay. But that was pretty much it. So,
All right. Well, thank you for your question.
okay, bye. Thank you. Have a good day.
Bye.
You too. All right. Keep this going. Next person.
Hello.
Hello.
Give me 1 second. Okay. Cool. So I have something that's a little bit more, I guess, niche. It's only really something I've noticed, and it's kind of been bugging me both in Rooms 1 and Rooms 2. But when I tried to use it for the contest as well in Rooms 2, it didn't really work. So yeah, it's pretty niche. I don't know if anyone else has run into it, but basically, if I'm trying to use a truck or something that like a moving vehicle that has a glass, right? Most of the time, if I'm using it, like for the contest, I wanted to have a truck that had a bunch of stuff in it. It looks really cool. And if I was to try and use it and I was to recolor the actual truck itself, the glass on it, instead of being like see-through and all of that, it would be like completely thick. So if you're on VR, you basically just like can't drive, like your vision's completely blocked. It's kind of like there's like a cube in the way. And that happens anytime that I recolor any sort of truck. So I was just wondering if you guys sort of know where that's happening, or if there's anything that's being done to help with that, because it's also a Rooms 1 and Rooms 2 bug.
Yeah, I like I said, I've kind of done a rec room tour a bit, so I've worked on a bunch of different teams. I heard about this somewhat recently when we were getting the R2 vehicles out the door. Unfortunately, we don't have a fix lined up for it right now, like the recoloring actually affecting the windshield. We kind of had to make a decision whether we should just get vehicles out the door or also fix this. It's a little bit more complicated than just saying don't recolor the windshield, which I wish it was that simple. So I don't know that we have a fix lined up for this soon, but we are aware of it.
Okay, cool. Yeah, that's literally all I had. So yeah, thank you.
Yeah, of course.
Thank you. All right, we're going to go ahead and keep this going. Hello there.
Hello.
Oh, I think your mic's muted. Oh, you typed it in chat. Can we use inverted tubes in our room if it's an invention? Yes, inverted tubes are allowed. Just understand that sometimes when you save them, they kind of like untwist themselves, so then your object could end up a little differently. That's okay, no worries. But the answer is yes, you can use them. Just use them at your own risk.
Hey there, Eden. Can I jump in here with a couple of questions from chat? They don't look like they're in the speaking queue. So one coming from Lime Thomas is asking, how will the rules for RecNet promoting be for the contest? Is there a limit for how many pictures you can promote for RecNet per day? I don't imagine all players have the, the RecNet powers of Lime Thomas and Luminous. So it is a good question because there are some influencers out there who can really dominate.
I think this is something I'd have to get back to on. I don't think I've thought too much about this. But I kind of think about it the same way as like in-game promotion. If you have a bunch of friends, like if you have a huge friends list and you invite them all to an event, you may have a better opportunity at getting people in there. For RecNet, I don't know how much we can limit you on posting, but definitely something I would I get back to you guys on. I got to think about it a little more.
Awesome. All right, Thomas, I hope that answered your question. We got another question from Yellow Foxy regarding, it's more on the technical side about performance and containers. Will containers be optimized anytime soon? Containers are really laggy and are, in my opinion, the reason most game crashes. They lag when selected, moved, scaled, saved as an invention, deleted, and lag really badly when moved into another container for some reason. It's really annoying to work like this. Most of my team can't even get inside the main subroom without crashing. It has set us back for days. Can you give us some information about this?
Yeah, I think when we've seen this, and I'm going to make an assumption, and if somebody can correct me if I'm wrong, if I'm in chat, or sorry, somebody in chat can correct me if I'm wrong. That was hard to say. But what we have seen, and when we have seen issues with moving containers being laggy or like causing performance drops, is usually when there's like a ton of shapes in the container, or you have like containers within containers with a bunch of shapes in it. And the technical issue is actually that we're trying to render a bunch of things at once. If you're moving a container with a bunch of shapes in there, trying to render the update for all of those shapes is very expensive. It is one of the things that is that is probably highest on our list that we're aware of and actively looking at right now. I don't know that we'll have a fix out for it before the end of the contest. Again, it is something that is more technical and a little bit deeper within our knowledge base and takes a little bit longer to get out. But yes, we are aware of it, and it's something that we do want to fix.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Would you be able to offer some guidance whether it's better to build your Makerpen shapes outside of a container completely before putting them in, or versus building them inside the container?
I will admit that I haven't tested that specifically, so I don't know that I have the correct answer for that. I would say that generally building in smaller chunks is probably better for performance. But again, like I haven't tested specifically what the best path is.
Okay, that's fine. So hopefully everyone can keep on trying. So that's it for questions from the chat right now that we haven't been able to answer in the chat itself. So back to the queue of raised hands.
All right. If I can click this.
Hello.
Hello there.
Hello.
Hello.
So I was looking through the chat, and I think no one else is having this issue other than me and my own team. Is there plans to fix like the LOD rendering? Because when I load into my rooms, any subroom, more than likely it just takes a few minutes for it to like actually show up. I just don't understand it. Like it looks like there's nothing in the room, and then I have to wait like 2 minutes, and then it actually appears.
Can I ask you what platform you're on?
I'm on SteamVR, but I've tried this on like different platforms as well, and it seems to be the same.
Okay, and sorry, I'm just going to ask a couple clarifying questions because I want to make sure I answer this correctly. Do you also have like a good bit of shapes or just like content in your room?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So, are you still experiencing this today, or has it gotten better in the past like week or two?
I will say it has gotten better, but it is still quite annoying.
Yeah. Okay.
But it has improved.
I have a good answer for this then. Thank you for the humoring my question so I could narrow in. Mm-hmm. We put out an experiment somewhat recently that we were trying to essentially what we're trying to do is make sure that low end platforms don't crash. If you have a bunch of shapes in your room, it can be really, really expensive. And so when we look at things like low end iOS devices or low end Android devices, we're trying to make sure that they don't run out of memory and crash out of the app or crash out of your room. In rolling this out, we have been working on this system, which will kind of better respond to having too many objects in your room. And what it'll actually try to do is try to prevent you from crashing by starting to render those less. It'll either render a lower LOD, so it's just like less fidelity, or if you start to running out of way too much memory, it'll just stop rendering them all together. Once again, hopefully so you don't crash. The challenge is when we rolled this out, we had the value set too low for our high-end devices. So our high-end devices were seeing kind of what the low-end devices were, but that doesn't really make sense, right? Like if I'm on a huge PC that's got a bunch of memory on it, I should be totally fine. I shouldn't run out of memory within Rec Room. And so about a week ago, we cranked the knobs up on high-end platforms, so it should be much better. If you have a really big room still, you can still hit this. But the limit is really, really high. So if you are still hitting it, I imagine you have a lot of things in your room. If you think that you shouldn't be hitting that limit, like you can DM me your room name and I can take a look. But that's largely what it is the system is in place so that like low end platforms aren't going to crash immediately when you're trying to enter the room.
Okay. Well, that was it. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
Alrighty. I did want to quickly say, though, there was an issue on the creator forum with dates. I did go ahead and fix that. I'm so sorry. Your deadline to publish currently is July 14th. I'm so sorry if it said otherwise anywhere else. July 14th, 11:59 p.m. PST. Cool. All right. I'm going to go pull the next person now.
Hello, hello,
Hello.
hello. Question. Do you think there's gonna be any more like CV2 inserts? Like, there's been a few that haven't been transferred over from CV1. Like the what is it called? The game chip, like paintball and stuff.
Gotcha. Yeah, there's no plan for bringing those over right this moment. It doesn't mean we won't ever do it, but that's not something we're actively looking at doing right now, unfortunately.
Yeah, I love the created like laser tag maps though. People love those.
Yeah, totally understand. I think given infinite time, it's something we'd probably want to do, but it's not something that's currently on our map right now.
All right, that's really the only question I had. I'm gonna go and listen to the rest.
No worries. Thank you so much for your question.
Sounds good.
All right. Well, the next person. Hello there.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello. I have one question about buildings from rooms 1 to rooms 2, like saving them as inventions and then bringing them to rooms 2. How strict are y'all on that?
Rule-wise, you guys are welcome to do it. There's no restrictions on building in R1 and moving into R2. I mean, mechanical-wise, I think Pixel can speak more to this. I'm not sure if there's any like restrictions or issues you should be aware of.
Yeah, I think for shapes, it probably is mostly fine. If you're just like building like a building, for example, and bringing it across. If you have other things attached to that invention, it may not work as well. Our stance right now is that it is not a supported action. We are more than happy for you to try it. Like Eden was mentioning, it is not a rule thing. It's just underneath the hood, R1 and R2 are fundamentally different systems. And so right now, we can't guarantee that something that worked in R1 that gets bumped as an invention and moved to R2 will work every time. That's a really big problem space for us to cover. So like I said, happy for you to try it. If it works for you, amazing. There's nothing wrong with that. But we can't just say like, yeah, it'll absolutely work.
Okay, cool. And yeah, I think that was it.
No worries. Thank you so much for your question.
Right. Thank you so much for having me.
All right, gonna go ahead and pull up our next person. Oh, I clicked the wrong one, but that's okay.
Hello.
Hello.
So I have noticed that rooms with a lot more shapes have more problems technically, like crashing, and other problems. If these issues aren't exactly fixed before play phase, are higher quality rooms going to lose out on engagement points because of the crash rates?
I'm so sorry. I actually muted my mic as I was answering. Ask the question one more time, just so I make sure I understand.
Are higher quality rooms going to have their engagement affected because more Makerpen shapes causes more problems and more crashing?
No. So we're going to work really hard to make sure this doesn't happen during engagement. But I want to make sure that if you're having issues because of R2, that it's not going to affect your engagement. So answer is no. I'll do my best to make sure that doesn't happen.
Also, another quick question. Is it play phase or build phase that ends July 14th?
The play test phase ends July 14th, and the build phase starts July 15th. You have up until July 14th to publish your room. After that date, you are no longer allowed to publish.
think you may have misspoke. I think you may have said build phase starts on the 15th. I think you meant to say play phase starts on the 15th.
Yeah, I'm so sorry. Yes, play phase starts on the 15th. Thank you so much. Play phase starts on the 15th. You are no longer allowed to publish after the 14th.
Okay. So we have to get the room out by the 14th or by the 15th, whatever. Yeah. Okay.
Thank you so much. I'm so sorry.
That is all.
All right. Thank you. Oh, I'm so sorry if I invited you to speak again. I don't know why I did that. All right. Gonna go and pull up the next person.
Oh, hello.
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 So the Makerpen shapes, is there going to be like any future optimization for that?
Yes, definitely. We know that they are kind of expensive right now and causing some of the issues. So it is something that we do want to fix. But again, I don't think we're going to be able to get a fix out in time for like the contest to be over. But in the future, definitely.
All right. Yeah, because what I've noticed is if you put like tubes into like regular Makerpen shapes, it causes a lot of lag. Even when you try to move it around, it like makes your frames drop like crazy. But if it's just sitting there and it doesn't cause it.
Yeah, that's kind of the rendering issue I was explaining earlier, where like as we're like trying to move shapes, like we're trying to render like we're trying to render where it's moving and kind of like along the way. And I think tubes tend to be particularly bad about that because it has a bunch of individual points that it's also trying to move.
Yeah, and like doing terrain is kind of impossible for like me and my contest group. If we do terrain and we make it like quality detail, it just makes the room load time like 2 to 5 minutes, and sometimes it's not even possible to load into the room.
Yeah, I have not worked with the terrain much, but that probably is just like the size of the terrain. The amount of content, it can really impact that.
I meant with like Makerpen objects.
Yeah, it's still the same thing, right? Where if you have a lot of shapes or a lot of really large shapes, it just takes a lot to be able to load them in. So unfortunately, we're not going to have a fix for that soon, but something that is on the radar and should be solved by some of the other issues we've talked about.
All right, that's pretty much all I have to say. Yep.
Yeah, thanks for coming up.
All right, well, thank you so much.
Yeah, that was...
Oh, I'm so sorry. I was you before you were done. All right, I'm gonna go move up to the next person.
Hey, hello.
Hello.
There you go. All right. I know I had a question regarding a bug I keep encountering in my room. It's like a specific container. Like everything else is fine. It's just one container. Every time I try to move it or do something with it, either every time I join the room, the pivot has moved like all the way back and I have to like move the object and undo it to have the pivot like reset, or collisions on the container is just completely off. I was wondering like if there was a way to fix that or not.
I haven't heard of this before. That sounds super odd that it's a specific thing in the room that is causing that. Or like a specific container in the room is having this bug.
Like
to be honest, I haven't seen this before, so I'm a bit stumped on it.
I don't know, it's like the collisions just never work and I have to like move it and undo, but I'm just thinking of adding like invisible collisions to fix it because honestly it's kind of annoying, but I'm trying to work
that might be a great workaround for now. The one thing that I would check is there's a setting to enable collision for objects within a container that doesn't always work correctly. So I would play with that and see if that is impacting it.
All right. Well, yeah, thank you for answering them. That helped out. I'll try out.
Yeah, appreciate it. Sorry for not having a cleaner answer for you.
No, all good. I'll work around it. All right. Thank you.
Yep.
Bye-bye.
Okay.
Bye.
Alrighty, we are at the last 15 minutes. I'm trying to get through as many as I can. Trunks, are there any more big questions from the chat we should answer before I continue with these?
Just some general confusion around, the build dates, the play test dates versus the play phase, but I think we got it mostly cleared up. Anyone? I didn't see anything else come up in the chat that I don't think we haven't been able to answer in chat, but I will let you know if something does.
Okay. Just a quick clarification for the phases real quickly. Right now, we are currently in the build phase. Your build phase ends June 29th, and you are welcome to publish whenever you guys like from this point forward. So you guys could publish today. You guys could have published a week ago. That's okay. You guys are welcome to publish whenever you guys need to. The next phase that'll start on June 30th is the playtest phase. So this is in the past, the playtest phase used to... I'm sorry. Sorry, someone said June 29th in chat. Yes, that's when it ends. The playtest phase starts June 30th. In the past, this phase used to replace lower engagement scores, but we're not doing that this contest around. This phase is mostly for you guys to get your rooms tested and get events going and have people play your rooms to try to fix bugs and such. So you're welcome to publish during this time as well. And you're welcome to make changes to your room during this time. Once we get past the playtest phase, that's when your rooms have to be published. So July 14th at 11:59 p.m. PST, your rooms do need to be published. That's the play phase will start July 15th, and no changes, no edits are allowed to your room after this point. So use the play test phase to get people in your room and testing it, especially if you have a build story, or you have a game room, a story room, anything with circuits in it. Try to get people in there and testing it as soon as possible. Yes, so July 14th is the very last day you guys can publish. Anything published after that will not be entered in the contest. Cool, and then I'll give more information about the play phase as we get closer to it, about like engagement, about events, how many you're allowed to do. I'll make announcements on that as we get closer. So that's what I can give you guys about the phases. If there's any more questions about that, feel free to ask them. You're also welcome to DM me if you guys have any more questions about these types of things or rules or anything, but I can't promise you it'll be super soon when I answer because I have like 50 unread DMs, but I'm getting to them today. Cool. I'm going to pull up the next person now.
That scared the life out of me, that little notification, but thank you for having me. I go by @Zeege, or I change it now to Sus, but I'm competing for this contest. I've competed since Folklore, and Stranded, but doing the playtest phase, can I change my room? Let's say I have a tree, can I add another tree? Is that allowed, or is it just strictly CV2 and bugs?
Say the question one more time. I was slightly distracted.
Oh, so in numerous contests before, like Folklore Summer Camp, you were allowed to like change like circuits, no builds basically. But in this contest, let's say I like this tree, am I allowed to add another tree while being in a play phase? If that makes sense?
No. Once the play phase starts,
Okay.
no edits at all are allowed. So you're not allowed to save your room again after that phase starts.
So I'm talking about play phase. So I could change like circuits. So like, let's say I wired my int variable wrong and now it counts negatives. Am I allowed to fix that during the play phase basically?
No, during the play phase, this would start July 15th. You're not.
Sorry, play test.
Oh, play test, you're allowed to change whatever you guys need to. You guys can make as many edits, as many saves as you want. But once the play phase starts, no more saves, no more nothing.
It's confusing. Play test, play phase, same shit.
I know, they're like the same thing, but one extra word.
Trunks, give me teacher. That's about it. Bye-bye.
All right.
Hey, Eden, a quick question from the chat. Sushi's bringing up past contests. You are not allowed to link your room if your room happened to be a featured room that week. So say, for instance, you get one of your non-contest rooms featured. You then go in and put a door linking to your contest room in your featured room. Is that currently against the rules?
This is something I'll clarify a little more when I give more information before the play phase starts. we're still thinking about it. I think we're probably thinking about keeping it the same way it was in the past contest, where the answer is no, you can't link it. But it's definitely something we're talking about, and I will update you guys when we get closer to the play phase.
Thank you. And yeah, don't be sneaky.
But for right now, just don't do it. Just to be safe, just don't do it. All right, bring up the next person.
Oh, hello.
Hello there.
So even though my profile picture says pick me, it may seem like I have like the craziest question ever, but I really don't. Basically, I'm not sure if somebody asked this before, but why the idea Solarpunk? Like, what inspired it?
You know, there was a lot of themes we went through during picking the contest, and I'm not sure why Solarpunk stuck, but it was probably one of my favorites. I think it was something that was broad enough from the rest of the suggestions, and we haven't done it before, so it was kind of new at the same time. Also, everyone wanted sci-fi, and this kind of fit into sci-fi without making it a sci-fi theme. But yes, 100% was all because Sushi said it, and that's the only reason why I picked it. That's a sarcastic, by the way. That's not
Awesome, I appreciate it. I just want to shout out Sunix because he told me to ask the question because he doesn't speak. Just wanted to shout out Sunix. Okay, I really appreciate the answer. I'm a hero now. Goodbye.
That was a good question. That was a good, fun question. All right, bring up the next person.
Hey,
hello there.
I was just wondering, not last update, but the update before, there was something introduced called Vulcan, and it's for like all the rendering. Ever since that was introduced, all of my rooms seem to be doing a lot worse in terms of performance. Is there anything that can be done about this? It kind of ruined a lot of my rooms to the point where you cannot look in certain directions without almost crashing your headset.
This is a frame rate issue? Because we've seen some of the Rec Room Studio skyboxes have broke it, which is a bug we're actively looking at.
I wouldn't even call it frame rate. It's like you look in the direction, and as you're moving your head, the whole screen kind of moves with you. So it stops that kind of looking around. It's very hard to explain in terms of what it looks like. It's just not very pleasant and kind of sickening for people. And it's happening from, I don't know any Quest 1 users, but Quest 2 to Quest 3 to Quest 3S. It just doesn't work very well.
That sounds super not good. Could you send me some more information so I could pass it along to the QA team and the rendering team, which is who works on Vulcan? They got that out recently, and that seems like not a good experience. So we'll try to get somebody to take a look as soon as possible.
Cool. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Perfect. All right. We are getting close to the end. I know we got like 8 more minutes, so I have time for maybe like 2 or 3 more people. I've been going based off of like top to bottom, but I may start choosing people who haven't spoken before as a priority, so that way we can get some more questions out. Pixel, how long do you have? Can we stay a little over, or we have a deadline?
I unfortunately can't. I can probably stay till like 3:58, and then I've got to get ready for my next meeting.
Cool. Okay. I think we have time for 1 or 2 more questions, and everything. Any other questions are probably not going to be R2 performance related.
Sounds good.
Hello.
Hello.
There's a bug in rooms 2 which could affect building, like the building part of the contest. So basically, let's say you have one container that's just tubes, and you use the invert duplicate tool. It would kind of just spread the tubes everywhere. So I'm wondering if there will be like a fix in the future.
I have not specifically tested this, so I don't think we have seen this bug internally yet. but I would venture out and say no. We probably won't have a fix for this before the end of the contest. But that seems like a specific relationship between like the invert clone and tubes within a container. So we'd have to look at it more deeply, but I don't think we'll have something ready before the end of the contest.
All right. Cool. I think that's all I have to ask. So yeah.
Yep. Sorry for an unsatisfying answer on that one.
It's all right. But yep. See ya.
All right, I think we have time for like one or two more. Speedrun them.
Hello. Hello. I have a question. It's not really with the circuits. So with my contest room, originally was doing a story and I had to switch it to a Hangout map. It's a Hangout room, like that has a couple of mini games. And then we wanted to do two separate subrooms that have, one is like parkour, one is like a whole bunch of mini games that you could play with your friends, things like that. Would all of that still fall underneath the Hangout category?
Let me get sorry, there's a little bit of time. I think as long as your room still feels like a hangout and not a game, so it's promoting social chatting with each other, and it's not like a full-on game, it would be fine. I think it might be crossing a little bit more into game with how many activities you have. So typically you want to try to keep a hangout to 1 to 2 subrooms at most. And the activities to not be anything too crazy. So it's just something small to promote, like getting together. But if it starts turning into like, oh, everyone in the room's going to play this game and there's a winner and then it resets type thing, then you're crossing a little bit more into the game category.
Yeah, in the main room, what we're doing is like a hangout kind of thing. There's a little like fishing place. There's a volleyball area. There's things to look at, to explore, to see. It's whereas like the other 2 subrooms, they're games. Those are games. So I didn't know if the subrooms would affect the main hangout room as just all categorized as just a game.
Yeah, I would definitely. What I would recommend doing is splitting up your room into 2 rooms if possible, because your first subroom sounds like a hangout, your other 2 subrooms sound like a game, and that would cross you more into the game category more than a hangout.
Okay. All right.
Cool. I hope that helped. So sorry.
Yes. It's okay. It was really confusing because I was like, I don't know if we should categorize it as a game or a hangout. If I categorize it as a game, would I be able to keep all 3 subrooms?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much.
No worries. Have a great day. Oh, I hope I didn't move them. All right, I can take one more, but really quickly, if you do not have a R2 related question, please put your hand down so that way we can get one more R2 related question in here before Pixel has to leave. Cool. I'm going to give you like 2 seconds, but I'm going to bring up the next person who is up here, and then that's sadly going to be our last one for R2 related questions. Hello. Oh, it looks like this one's a text chat question. When is glass going to get fixed? Because at the moment it automatically sets to 0.95 opacity.
We do not have that currently on our radar. So okay. I don't have an answer for you on that one.
The second one is, will you look at reduced lag for picking up and dropping the Makerpen?
We actually talked about this one a little bit earlier. It is something that is at the top, towards the top of our list, but it is a bigger problem to fix than something that we can probably get out in the contest timeline. So yes, we're going to dig into it, but I don't have an ETA for you right now.
Perfect. The last question was about favorite ice cream flavor.
This is first of all, I love this question. Ice cream is my favorite, basically my favorite thing in the world. Ben and Jerry's milk and cookies is
Ooh,
my
that one's
favorite ice cream flavor. It's really good if you haven't tried it.
Mine definitely has to be mint chocolate chip. I am very basic with mint chocolate chip. All right, I'm going to move you back to the audience.
I've got to slide out. Thanks everybody for coming. Thank you for participating in the contest. I will see y'all around.
Sounds good. If you have any more non-R2 bug related questions, more so logistical questions, I'm going to stick around for a little bit longer, but so I can answer those ones. Barachi, the flying bug in R2, feel free to put in like either a bug report or send me a DM on what you're talking about, and I'll go ahead and answer them. Cool. All right. I know we saw some people's hands raised. If they're not just like general rules or contest related questions, if they're more like performance R2 related questions, and please put your hands down. Sadly, I can't super help with that question, but I can help with any other questions. Cool. All right. Cool. I'm going to start pulling people up.
Hello.
Hello there.
I would like to ask a question. It's a big one. Where imagine as if players are having issues in game with frame rate or like crashing. This isn't really like a bug. Will it affect the engagement points for the room?
We had a question about this a little earlier. As long as this is something that was maybe like not, this is something that's R2 related, so you're having frame issues because R2 is causing lags, then you'll be okay. It won't affect your engagement points. But if this is something that's more so, hey, I have 60,000 update 30 hertz and that's why frames are dropping, then that would affect your engagement points. So if it's our fault, no. If it's a build issue, yes.
Okay. This is kind of another question, also room related. If it's about the playtest phase, as of in the playtest phase, we can have multiple different. We can have other saves during the playtest phase, correct?
Yes, you can save as much as you'd like during the playtest phase.
And also, when will that begin?
Playtest phase begins, I gotta pull this up again, June 30th, and will end July 14th. Your room must be published by July 14th, and you cannot have any saves after that point.
Okay. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Have a great day.
You too.
Cool. We still got people's hands raised. All right. Still bringing people up. Goose, I did send you. There you go. Okay.
Sorry.
Make
For
sure you
some
saw it.
reason, it took a second to load. I have no clue why.
Totally okay. I don't know why either.
Yeah, you guys aren't in charge of Discord. So
Wish I was.
I actually had a question about kind of what puts a room on your guys' radar for, judging. Are all rooms equally judged, or is there a preference system based on some sort of metric?
So this I'll explain a little bit more when we get to the judging phase, or during the play phase. I think right before the play phase, I'll explain a little bit more what we're looking for both engagement and judging wise. So I'm not going to say too much yet. And I also don't want to say too much, so that way it's still kind of a mystery and nobody tries to game the system. But I want to keep it fair between everybody. All rooms are made different. Every creator is different. So it's going to be a little bit broad, so that way people are still able to, express their creativity and still place. But we definitely want to promote activity in your rooms is the best I can say. So if you have like a hangout room, things that would promote hanging out. If you have a game room, promote coming back and playing the games again.
I guess kind of like my lead into that, right? Since that can't really be answered, and I get that, I was kind of expecting that, is more of like, are you treating this like other contests? Because from my knowledge, we've seen rooms that were top 10 that weren't even finished. We've seen that. Are we doing that again, or are we changing things up and actually, reasonably rating rooms?
I think we are making sure that we don't make mistakes in the past that have been made in the past. I can't promise things will be perfect because we're all human. We make mistakes, but I will do my absolute best to make sure that we judge rooms fairly and that rooms are in the top 10 because they deserve to be in the top 10.
I know you guys like weren't planning like, because like in the past, right, obviously, I assume that you guys plan on changing a lot, and I've noticed you guys have been changing quite a lot. Some changes confusing, but others I've seen very large improvements. I was just, it was just like a little bit of a dream to make sure that we don't do that again, because it hurts other creators' feelings. Like, I've seen creators completely just lose faith in you guys just because of silly small decisions.
Yeah, no, totally fair. But the best thing I can say is just keep in mind, this is my first time running a build. I ran the video contest and the art contest, but before this, I was a player like you guys. I competed in 4 or 5 contests. This is my first time running one, so things will not go perfectly. I can 100% tell you more than likely something's going to get messed up down the line if they haven't already. But I will always do my best to make sure that I do right by you guys and I do right by me as well.
Okay, I'll write you a formal letter if I'm angry.
Please do. Send it by like Owl though, because I want that full Harry Potter experience.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, keep your window open. It's coming.
Will do. It's already open. Well, thank you so much for your question. I think it's a valid concern, so it makes sense why you guys would want it answered.
Yeah. Okay, well,
thank you so much. Cool. We have a few more. We're getting close to the end time. I want to try to answer as many of these as I can. If I don't get your question answered, you scrapped contest. Sadly, I will not talk about the scrapped contest themes because they may become themes in the future. So we'll not talk about those. So I'm going to go ahead and bring up a few more. If we start getting to like the end and there's still more questions, I apologize. I may just have to end it, but we'll add a few more people.
All right. Hello. So I have a question about promotion. So in the past, I don't know how strict promotion was, but I'm gonna give you an example. During the playtest phase, when we make an event, how strict is the promotion? Like, are we allowed to mass invite people like once? Or like,
I think
how
this
many
is
times can
something
we do?
we're still thinking about. I want to make sure that I have these rules set in stone before the play phase starts, so that way there are no big questions like this. So it'll likely be kind of similar to the way past contests works with events, where you're limited how many you can do per day, like on average. And obviously we don't want to have you guys spamming your friends 20 billion times. I mean, imagine you friends with every single creator, you get 30 to 50 invites per day. That's insane.
Yeah.
So definitely this is going to be a big to be determined, and I'll drop more information about this as we get closer to the play phase.
All right. That's all. Thank you.
No problem. Have a great day.
You too.
Oh, I may have invited you to speak again. I'm so sorry if I did that. All right, we're getting down to the last, I think, 5 or 6. So I'm still pulling people up.
I have a question about the tags, because in the main tags thing, story and games aren't in there. Would that be like an additional tag you put on the room?
Yeah, this is something I kind of didn't think about before we started the contest. This is on me. This would be an additional tag you add on to your room. Yes. So sorry, they weren't correlate. They weren't right with the main tags that you can just add on. So just add it on manually.
Okay. That's pretty much all I had to say. Yep.
No worries. Thank you so much.
I'll go back to the thing. I don't know how to, so you move me.
I can move you. I gotcha. All right, we're down to the last 5. We're gonna end this off strong.
Hello.
Hello there.
Okay, so I have not seen this written up in the contest rules, but obviously event spamming is prohibited. 1 event per day is allowed, but what about those who are participating in multiple rooms? Would it be allowed if a person holds multiple events for each room they are a part of, but as long as there's just 1 event for that 1 room per day?
Yeah, this is again good. I want to explain this more as we get to the play phase. I have a little bit more needed to do on the whole engagement system and how to prohibit people from spamming, but it'll likely track per the room rather than per the creator. So as long as you're doing like 1 per room per day, then you should be fine.
Okay, cool.
All right.
Yep, that's all.
All right, thank you so much. All right, last three. Woo.
Oh my lord. Hello.
Hello.
I have two. You say you're not talking about any bugs for 1.0 or 2.0, right?
Sadly, I don't have the knowledge to answer them. The person who was here for bugs had to leave.
Okay. One of the things I wanted to know is for the future contest, would there be more, or is this going to be just like a one thing? Because like before it was like 2 years, and I understand like sometimes you guys take a break during making contests. And will it ever be in 1.0 ever, or will be sticking to 2.0?
I think a lot of this is going to depend on how this contest ends. I think this contest has just started. This is, again, the first build contest I've ever ran. There were previous people who ran these contests before. So I'm still pretty new to everything. As long as things don't go absolutely terribly, I hope we can have more contests in the future. Build contests, art contests, all related. I would like to make sure we're mixing in not only build contests, but other contests in addition to it. Maybe some new type of contests as well. So nothing yes or no yet. But it's a lot of like to be determined. But I'm not sure about 1.0 contests because 1.0 rooms are now depreciated as they're not the set room creation anymore. When you go and build a room, you're automatically building in 2.0. So I'm not quite sure about the future of it. Rooms 1 contest.
Okay, that's my question.
No worries. Well, thank you so much for your question and have a great day. Cool. Wait, more people raised their hands. That's okay. I'm gonna give it Trunkster, Sean, if you guys need to head out, feel free to. I'm gonna give it until 4:30 and then I'm going to probably end it. Hopefully we can end it a little sooner if we answer all the questions sooner. But feel free to head out if you guys need to.
Cool. Yeah, I'm gonna head out. I did get a message internally that if anyone wants early news, this is a exclusive announcement. We found a fix for the roomie issues, so everyone with Rec Room Plus that should be going to 100% of people should get roomie. So once that, I think,
hey!
Yeah, so that's good news. We fixed that pretty quickly. So if anyone's been frustrated about having Rec Room Plus and not seeing their roomie work, I think there's going to be an announcement here in the next 5 or 10 minutes that it seems like we've got it working now. So fingers crossed, we'll see.
That's great. Well, exclusive contest AMA announcement. You're gonna get your roomies back.
Yay, air horn noises.
Wish I could do soundboards in here.
Dang, son, where'd you find this?
Thank you, Trunks. All right, cool. Well, thank you so much, Sean. I know you have to head out, but thank you so much for that announcement and joining us. All right, I'm going to go ahead and bring up the last few people. Hello there.
I just have like 2 questions.
Okay.
Number 1, about the building contest. When does that end?
About the which contest?
Building contest.
So the building contest for building wise, you have to publish by July 14th, and it likely won't end until late August when everything is done and the roomies and all the celebrations and everything is finished.
Okay. By the way, so my friend got banned. How does he create a ban appeal?
You can go through Zendesk. You just search up Zendesk on your browser, Rec Room Zendesk, and then you should be able to put in a ticket.
All right. Thank you.
No problem. Have a great day. Cool. Looks like we got 3 more. Guys, stop raising your hands. I'm trying to end this. That's okay. If you genuinely have questions, you're welcome to raise your hand. These guys. No, it's okay. Don't apologize. Raise your hand if you need it. But 4:30 is my cap. That's where I have to end. Hello.
Okay, so I have a question about events real quick relating to rooms, the contest room.
So my contest room is planned to be a 2-player room for like 2 people. So is it okay if my team and I make a whole entire room for a contest so people can go into it? Like, will I lose points if I make a whole entire room and like have a door in it leading to the room?
This reminds me of like past contests. What I even had to do in a past contest, because our room 6-player room, you can make a sub room in your room that's called like event sub room, and make it so that it's got a capacity of 20 people or like 40 people, and hold your events in there, and then just have a door that leads them to the next sub room if they want to play the game.
All right, and I have like a side question, kind of. Roomies, not the little creature thingy, the actual roomies where people like attend, like creators. Will that be like happening this year too?
Yes, there will be a full roomies. It's going to be similar to, it's going to be like the live ones. So you guys are all going to be there in person. Anybody who makes the top 5 in each category will be invited to the event. It's going to have the red carpet. We're going to do the live awards in each suburb again. And it's all going to be live streamed to YouTube with the before and after party too.
All right, thank you so much. That's all I had to ask. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Have a good one.
You too. Last one. Although I saw Sakona.
Oh my god, my mic audio keeps going into the speaker. So this one is also with Steam, but like apparently someone said that it happens to them too. It stinks because they replied back to it. But whenever I go in the game, my map, I can get in now. But like when I take out the Makerpen, the game, the Steam and thing opens saying Rec Room waiting for response, and then like I get logged out, and then I see like the 2017 login screen.
I'm sorry, this one I can't help out with. The person who does know all the technical side of things did have to leave. If you want to create a creator forums about it, we should be able to help you out with getting a little more information there.
Oh, okay.
All right. Well, thank you so much.
That's all I had to tell. Okay, you're welcome.
All right. I have about 14 minutes. So, Kona, I did see you raise your hand and drop it. Are you good? Did you have a question? I can still bring you up. Oh, there's still a few more. No worries. Just wanted to make sure. Okay, I'm going to bring up 1 or 2 more, but then I think I'm going to end it there. I haven't eaten lunch yet. I'm starving. I'm probably going to go eat an apple or something. Totally a joke. Not going to do that.
Hello? Can you hear
Hello
me?
there.
Hello. Okay, so I have a question regarding the game category for the contest. So within the game category, with the judging and the voting on the rooms, if like lots of different types of games out there in the Rec Room community. If we see like any game that's like, I don't know, how far can you grow Solarpunk Garden or something, would that get points due to like low quality rate, or would that still be accepted because it's with the theme? Like, you know how there's like those how far can you run games and that are really low quality, but if they did it with the theme, would that be allowed?
I think I'm gonna reveal more information on these type of things when we get closer to the play phase or the judging phases, so that way you guys are more. This is something I do have to think a little bit on, but if it is a low quality room, I think you gotta trust that when we judge it, it wouldn't end up in the top areas because it is a low quality room.
Yeah. Okay.
Hope that answers a little bit.
Yeah. All right. Thank you. Have a good day.
No problem. You too. Cool. All right. I think I got 1 or 2 more. And then I'm going to go get a snack.
Hello. This is one final question, at least for me. Will we be able to use music that is in the public domain, such as Kevin MacLeod music or Joe Kim Karud music? Is that possible?
Yeah, so pretty much the best way I can explain it is Google it, ask if it's got copyright on it. If Google tells you no, and you can go through like the copyright websites and they tell you you're fine, you should be okay using it. But pretty much most popular music is not public domain. But if you want to keep it safe, I'd recommend just don't use anything that's made by somebody else. Try to make your own music if you can. But if it's in the public domain, you should be fine.
Okay. Cool. Just wondering. Yep. Have a good day.
No worries. You
Bye-bye.
too. All right, cool. We got our last one here. Can I make a FNAF? You know what, Jeff? Why am I not surprised? All right, we have our last one here. So yes, you know, Jeff, you don't even get an answer.
Hey,
Hello.
how's it going? I have a question on. There's been a problem with notifications lately. I've heard this from a couple of my buddies as well who play the game. Like we're not able to see notifications at all on the watch menu.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
is this causing issues with adding co-owner to your rooms?
oh no, it's just like every time I log into the game, I've even reinstalled the game multiple times. It's been on the latest update, you know, but I just haven't been able to see notifications, and it's been happening with multiple of my friends too.
Gotcha. Well, somebody in the chat is saying to turn off your club notifications, and it might help. But
what
sadly, your club notifications.
Club notifications.
That's just what someone in the chat is saying. Feel free to try that. If you're having more issues, I would put in a bug report or send in a Zendesk ticket.
Yeah. Okay. Well, thank you for having me.
No problem.
You enjoy the rest of your day.
You too. All right. Phoenix, I see you on here. Phoenix, you help me out so much. Okay. 10 more minutes, guys. Come on up, Phoenix. Yeah, if you guys are having issues with adding a co-owner to your room, feel free to DM me. I can help out with it. I'm not sure why I've seen a lot of people have issues with it, but if you DM me, I can help see if I can get them on there. Hi, Phoenix.
Hi, how are you doing? You all right?
Good about you. Good and you?
I'm doing good, thank you. I've got a question with regards to the advertising and the promoting of the games. Obviously, there's going to be a batch of us coming through. How is Rec Room going to support us as promoting the map and getting them on the watch? How is that going to be displayed with regards to promoting and viewing on our watches?
Gotcha. So I was going to keep this a little bit of a surprise, but I can kind of say it. We do have a special carousel that every room that will be tagged with the contest and published in time will be on. It'll be on its own separate carousel, and it'll be randomly rotated. So your room always has a chance at being at the top, and if your one room won't be stuck at the top either.
Okay, perfect.
And trying to get visibility. But your room cannot be featured. So we will not be allowing contest rooms to be featured during the contest time. After the contest is done, you're welcome to set them to be featured. So we're hoping that this carousel will kind of help you guys get visibility without just doing which room's the top and there's
because of the favoritism and all the rest of it. Yeah, that was awesome, just to kind of make it fair for everybody.
Yeah, so we're gonna have that, and it should be starting probably when the play phase starts. I think that's when we're going to start doing it.
Oh, fabulous. That's great. Thank you so much.
No problem. Thank you and have a great day.
And you. Have fun. Bye.
All right, guys. I am getting very tired here. I need a snack. So I'll likely end this here. If you have any more questions, you guys are welcome to go ahead and DM me or put it on the creator forum, ask in the contest chat. There's a lot of places you guys can ask them, and I'll try to keep my eye on the chats as much as I can for right now. Enjoy lunch. Thank you, guys. It's actually closer to dinner. I feel like I should wait an hour dinner instead. But you guys are welcome to DM me. I do have a lot of DM, 16 unread new ones and 40 something other ones. So I'm going to get through them as fast as I can, just a bit. Do you want to say I'm super grateful for you guys for pushing through and still participating in this contest. I understand Rooms 2 has had a lot of issues. I understand it's been kind of a pain to deal with, but at the end of the day, I really, really appreciate participating. I hope all goes well, and I'm excited for you guys to see what we have in store. We got a cool after party, a cool before party for the roomies. I'm excited for you guys all to come hang out, get to know each other, socialize a little bit, and win some awards. Huge thanks to Trunks for being here and help moderating the chat, keeping an eye on it as well. Trunks, really, really appreciate
My pleasure.
that. Huge thanks to Brigadier. I'm sorry, I always pronounce your name wrong. Brigadier for recording for us, answering questions, being all around helpful. Really appreciate it. And all of our moderators in the chats for keeping the chat safe and on topic as much as we could. But yeah, gonna end it here.
Thank you, everyone. Have a good rest of your evening.
Thank you guys, and feel free to reach out if you have any questions. Gonna go ahead. How do I end the stage now?
Bye-bye. Just leave and end the event.
Oh, you
or
got
leave,
it. All right.
or leave quietly if you want to maintain the chat log.
Oh, do I want to let people keep talking?
Yeah. Okay, everyone. Have a good day or a good night wherever you may be.